All right, let's go. We got a thumbs up. Yep,
Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everyone this morning? Good? You're the ones who made it through the rain and the marathon. Grateful to have you here. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Jonathan Zenz. I'm the spiritual director here. This is Reverend Helen Vallot, who is my assistant minister. Let's kick this off with a little One Big Family. What do you say?
Yes.
Ready? Here we go. Everybody, get up on your feet. She's a light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. She's a light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one. One big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Take it away, Stephen. Joyful sound, here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound, here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. All right. Thank you for dancing with me. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living. Like I said before, my name is Jonathan Zenz. I am the spiritual director here. Such a joy that you've chosen to be with us today. We are a community of people who are seekers. We are seekers. Are we not seekers?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are seekers. We are seeking something that elusive something. It feels elusive sometimes, but you know what? Here's the thing. What we seek is actually within each and every one of us, right here at the core of our beingness. And when we engage in spiritual practice, which is what this is, when we engage in spiritual practice, we enrich our lives. And that's what I'm here to do, and that's what I'm here to teach. And so it's a joy to have you here with us this morning. For those of you, I watch other services, other centers that broadcast their services on the internet. And Reverend Dr. Maureen Hoyt was speaking at the Global Truth Center last week. And she referenced one of the first times that she stepped into a Science of Mind church, a Science of Mind center, and one of the things that she heard that has stuck with her all this time is this, and I love this. You may not believe everything you hear here today, but you will hear something you believe. Think about that. That there is something that resonates within each and every one of us, some bit of truth, and that's at the core of our beingness. It's in our heart. And so I invite you to be open and receptive to hear what you need to hear. And guess what? You get to walk away and carry that with you throughout this week and throughout your life. Whew, I'm out of breath. We have a guest today that I'm so grateful to be able to offer and present here at our center. She is from Calgary. Our guest today is a New Thought leader. She is a teacher of metaphysics, bridging science and spirituality in the business of our everyday lives. And she did formerly host a weekly radio program. Yeah. She hosted a weekly radio program called Minding Our Business. That's a good title. On creating a spiritual economy on Voice America. She uses a whole mind approach to empower the emergent spiritually intelligent leader within us all. You know what? Just because I stand up here doesn't mean that I'm the only leader. You're all leaders. You're all leaders. And so this is what she has committed her life to doing, is to allow us all to find that within ourselves. Her Diamond Mind coaching and training programs support clients in learning to apply universal natural laws, principles, and practices so that they may develop strategies guaranteed to ignite creativity, a spirit of generosity and inclusion, both inside and outside the walls of the workplace. She recently retired from her position as the founding spiritual director of the Calgary Joy of Life. It's right in front of me. You know, I could just read it. Director of the Calgary Joy of Life Center for Spiritual Living, and she continues to remain involved with the Centers for Spiritual Living as a member of the Ministers and Practitioners Licensing Committee. She is also the chair of the Phoenix Bridge Committee, serving ministers who are in times of challenge and change. So she is here, inspired by the belief that humanity knows. Please welcome our guest today, Reverend Nadine Rogers.
Thank you, Reverend Jonathan, and all those wonderful volunteers that are here serving, the practitioners. Nick, where are you, Nick?
Sound guy.
You're the sound guy too? Oh my gosh. You gave a beautiful meditation, which really helped to ground me. No one's ever read my introduction before. Nobody. And I think it's way too long. So thank you for actually reading it. Now I can change it. So, yes, thank you. I know I have 5 minutes. And my talk title is Hats Off. Living from that lighter side of that serious subject in life, which is called me. Now, the reason I chose that title is because I have recently retired, as Reverend Jonathan said. And my intention behind that, primarily, because we all are, if we listen, moved by the need for that expression of the soul evolution. What is next needed to be revealed to ourselves, right? Is the expression of our own wholeness and uniqueness as God. So I decided I wanted to let go, not of my ego. So I want to get that right out of the way. I think ego is easing God on board. Yes, I'll just give you a minute for that. We have to embrace it all because it all is of God, right? So as soon as we try to separate ourselves out from our ego and our personality, what are we doing? We're divided against ourselves. So this is a journey that we all share and have in common. So I decided I wanted to let go of my identity, because I have had a lot of hats, just like all of you, a lot of roles, a lot of masks. I was born and raised in this good city, Tirana the Good. I can't stand when people say, oh, you're from Tirana. I said, I didn't say that. I said Toronto. I don't know, it's just, never mind, you're from the East. Okay, fine. And so my whole life journey is taking those hats off and living with what's underneath. Isn't that the spiritual journey? Meaning the spiritual journey is the human journey, because we're always walking this earth in our divine humanity. So I don't want to get rid of my ego, but I want to let go of my identity, what I identify myself as and with. That's what I'm up to. And I tell you, when I started to do that, and I'm sure you've all had these experiences, it's not called change in your life, it's called conscious transformation. And then you go through these identifiable changes, right? So you can, oh yeah, that's changed now because I intended this. This is a much bigger thing, and transformation's about mystery. You cannot plan this. you fall right into the void. Slip sliding, lots of slopes, lots of ditches, lots of mud and muck, right? And when I look in the mirror, I don't see a person who likes mud and muck. But see, there it is. We always see ourselves as something different than what the soul's nature and the need for whole expression is calling us to do. That's what I wanted to let go of. That identity that held me separate from and disabled me from being right where I needed to be in the moment. So that includes and embraces everything. You know, to be authentic doesn't mean we can't wear hats, right? Because we're all diversely expressive. We all have so many gifts, some of which we know, some of which we've used forever to kind of get by and manage our lives, and others which we have yet to discover. So wear the hats, but don't identify with the hats. Because hats are a way to give our gifts into the world. I do many, many things. I've always done many things. But I always thought that I should just be doing one thing and focus. You know, so when I was in ministry, I was the spiritual director of the Calgary Joy of Life Center, and that came with several duties and responsibilities, right? And relationships and roles within my community. But what happened to the part of me that wanted to do art? What happened to the part of me that wanted to go dancing at night, which I thought was a no-no as a minister? I know that that's not your vision. I know that. And I want to be more like you when I grow up. I sort of missed that one. Had I stayed in Toronto, I probably still would be dancing, but that's another story. But there were a lot of aspects of my life that I didn't do because I thought it didn't fit the role. Is that not true for you in your life? And so what I really want to talk about, and what I'm going to move into the workshop with this afternoon, is I'm going to talk about will and imagination and those shadow aspects of ourself, and animating, because part of my life for 25 years was being a professional clown. Yes, you heard that. Another contrast, because that's what healed me. It healed me from addiction. It healed me from that inability to be emotionally honest, open, and transparent, and vulnerable. And if we're going to be on this spiritual path and feed ourselves and others and move closer towards this idea of the principle of wholeness of expression and unity and creating a world that works for everyone, right, we need to be vulnerable. There's no cost to being vulnerable. We only think there is. So I believe that I probably talked for 5 minutes, and I'm going to graciously move into the affirmation. So if you wish to join me this afternoon, I'd love to have you. It's going to be quite experimental. I tend to be in the present moment because life, as Dr. Holmes says, is spontaneous, and that's when we're our most vulnerable, and that's when we connect with that sacred part of the truth of who we are. So, as always, I am going to share the affirmation with you first, and then we're going to say it together. Okay, so don't start talking without me. It's very important. I got my instructions here from Reverend Jonathan. I said, I thought I was just going to be a little bit of a speaker here. I didn't know I was going to be the lead practitioner, so it's really great to fit into somebody else's construct. I like it. So, the affirmation for today, it's in your program, and it is this: I am love, I am lovable, beautiful and worthy. I am the divine beloved. I'm going to say that one more time without you. Okay? I am love, I am lovable, I am beautiful and worthy. I am the divine beloved. So if you would now say that with me. I am love, I am lovable, I am beautiful and worthy, I am the divine beloved. Let's do that again. I am love, I am lovable, I am beautiful and worthy, I am the divine beloved. And one more time, very quietly to yourself. I am love. I am lovable. I am beautiful and worthy. I am the divine beloved. And so it is. Thank you.
Let's take a breath. Allow ourselves to resonate with that beautiful affirmation. I am love. I am lovable, beautiful and worthy. I am the divine beloved. Breathe into that. I am born from the strength of love. I am born from the strength of love. All that I am today, all that I bring today, I know that it's enough. I am born from the strength of love. I am breathing. I am breathing the strength of love. I am breathing the strength of love. All of my traveling, all my unraveling journeys I know not of. I am breathing the strength of love. So I invite us all to go to that place of receptivity, that place of conscious awareness, allowing ourselves to be in the here and now, letting go of anything that has preceded this moment, letting go of anything we anticipate is to come, and simply allowing ourselves to be as we open ourselves up to these beautiful words of affirmative prayer from Nadine.
So together we move ourselves into the space of wholeness, this idea of unity, this oneness, where we are undivided within ourselves, not separate. We do not push, we do not resist. We do not look away, we embrace, we accept. We hold holy and sacred the sanctity of life in its fullness, in the here and now. We are present. We unify with this presence and bring ourselves present into this moment where only truth exists. The truth of life, of love, the truth of joy, of sadness, of grief. All the things that we are, supported in the foundation of the absolute truth, known as life, as God, as infinite mind, working in as and through us, through the law of its own nature. So today I speak my word for the part of me in this universe, expressed as each person here present, knowing that we bring ourselves forward into the call of our own soul. Whatever we are, wherever we are, however we are feeling in this very moment, is bound and uncensored at the same time by the truth of life, the nature of all being. And so we trust this. We burrow into this. We raise ourselves up in this. And we allow ourselves to listen to the guiding principles of this universe that are impersonal, that are true, and that never let us down. We are here, we are whole. It is in deep gratitude that I release these words, knowing the law in its own creative intelligence and power has moved upon me, and it has moved through these words already, bringing them into my reality. And I say thank you once again, for there is nothing left to say. I release these words. I bless my life, and together we say, and so it is.
I am blessing.
I am blessing, blessing the strength of love. I am blessing, blessing the strength of love. Bringing it forth today, sending it on its way out to the hills above. I am blessing, blessing the strength of love. I am born from, I am born from. I am breathing, I am breathing. I am blessing, I am blessing.
There's you know, you mentioned being a clown, and it's having spent your part of your life being a clown. And it's funny because my first memory of you ever was at the Asilomar conference with a red clown nose. And I'm grateful for that. Actually, it's funny because I'm going to be doing a quote today in my talk by someone who essentially is a clown. And I'll talk about that when we get to it. But we have a great song, featured song today that is originated by my favorite band these days, which is A Great Big World. And I bring in these like up songs that we do, and I get very excited by them. Today, Tanis is going to lead us in the lead vocal on this great, great song called The Future's Right in Front of Me.
And it's very repetitive at the end. Feel free to sing along, because
I think God is calling.
I think so. Does somebody want to answer that?
Mine's, it's not mine. I don't know.
Do we know whose phone is that? Is that Lori's phone? Lori, is that your phone?
All right.
Oh, it stopped. Okay, carrying on.
There we go.
Excellent.
Spontaneous life.
You'll catch on to the song. It's awesome.
Oh, I spent my life trying to answer to the voice inside my head, but all I found were empty questions from a time that I forget. Oh, I learned my lesson. It was wrong of me to look so far ahead. I'll count my blessings one by one. I'll live a life I won't regret. And now I finally see the future's right in front of me, yeah. And now I finally see the future's right in front of me, yeah. Oh, walked alone. I was scared of who I knew that I could be, but there was beauty in the darkest parts of my uncertainty.
And now I finally see the future's right in front of me, yeah. And now I finally see the future's right in front of me, yeah. I feel it beating in my heart.
Future's right in front of me, yeah.
I feel it beating in my
Future's right
heart.
in front of me, yeah.
I feel it beating in my heart. I feel it beating in my heart. I feel it beating in my heart.
Right in front of me, yeah.
I feel it beating in my heart.
Right in front of me, yeah.
And now I finally see the future's right in front of me, yeah. And now I finally see the future's right in front of me, yeah. And now I finally see the future's right in front of me, yeah. And now I finally see the future's right in front of me, yeah. And now I finally see the future's right in front of me, yeah. And now I finally see the future's right in front of me, yeah. And now I finally see the future's right in front of me. Great song. There's something about this band. Just because you've bought their album now, like you get it, right? They have 2 albums. And they're my favorite band lately, and they were here on August 30th doing a concert, and I missed it. But that's okay. That's okay. They'll be back. Yeah, we're gonna sing. We are going through their entire catalog of music right now, and got some stuff that's coming down the pipeline. The thing I love about A Great Big World is that they're young guys. They're in their early mid 20s, and the music that they have presented to the world is music that makes me realize they just get it. They just get it. They're not science of minders, but they understand the nature of the connection that we all have as one unified whole. And that's what comes out in their lyrics. That's why I love it. I just love it. The song starts off, I spend my life trying to answer the voice inside my head. Isn't that true? I spent my life trying to answer the voice inside my head, but all I found were empty questions from a time that I forget. So there's one of these things that happens within the science of mind philosophy, and it is this. We've been sold a little bit of a bill of goods. Wait, what? We've been sold a bill of goods to some degree, because I think we have evolved past even what Ernest Holmes was saying. Sacrilege, right? Ernest Holmes started his weekly radio program with, there is a power for good in this universe greater than you are, and you can use it. The truth is, we are that power. This is what we truly, fully understand now. We are this power, and we are using it whether we are consciously aware of it or not. And it is Ernest Holmes who, with many New Thought teachers, said, change your thinking, change your life. But it goes so much deeper than that. As they say in this lyric, I spent my life trying to answer the voice inside my head. That's using the intellect. And the idea of change your thinking, change your life, sometimes we get trapped into thinking all we have to do is address the intellect. But it's so much deeper. We need to address that feeling and belief system at the core of our heart. For when we shift
the feeling and the belief, that's when our life changes. Because when we shift that feeling and belief, we've actually changed the thinking automatically, because thinking comes from the belief, which is born out of the feeling. That's why I'm so grateful. I'm going to do a little shout out to Reverend Helen Vallot. I'm grateful to the work that she is bringing to this center in HeartMath, because this is what I think is part of the evolution even of science of mind, is that when we truly understand that the first brain is the heart, life changes dramatically. And when we are in coherence, not incoherent, but when we are in that place of coherence, life is easy. Isn't that what we're all seeking? We're seeking life to be easy and joyful. I love the name of your center, the Joy of Life Center. Isn't that what we all seek? Today, we continue the theme of the month, which is global transformation through personal transformation. And the topic today is one that is a little bit, some people have, because this comes from the Declaration of Principles as written by Ernest Holmes in 1927, and some people have said, well, this is kind of one that I don't really get. But I'm going to read it to you, and then we're going to talk about it, okay? It is this: we believe in one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. We believe in one indestructible, absolute, self-existent cause. I'll break it down super easy for you. There's only one thing going on. That's it. There's one thing going on. There's nothing else. One thing. And we're all part of it. We're all part of it. When we stop thinking that we are separate from God, everything gets better. We transform ourselves and thereby transform the globe, transform the universe. So my talk today, I love when Helen, I said, here's my talk title: Me, Absolute One Up. And Helen's like, huh? She's like, I get it, me. Which, of course, is coming at the end of my talk. So I'll tell you what me is at the end of my talk. Because I'm going to work on it. I'm going to work it backwards. Me, Absolute One Up. Now, if you get the Friday email, who gets the Friday email? You get it now because it's not going to your, well, it may still be going to your junk folder, but you're checking your junk folder now. UP, I've capitalized in my talk title. And here's why. Up is unlimited power. So let's start with that. Unlimited power. That is what we are. We are born of unlimited power. We are the very presence of unlimited power, individualized, because we all have our own individualized way of thinking and way of expressing in this world, but we have a connection to the unlimited power. Now, can we truly, truly, truly comprehend unlimited? Think about that. Unlimited. What is unlimited? What is unlimited? When I started thinking about this morning, it's funny because we have unlimited power, and when I woke up this morning, my hydro was out. And so I had no power this morning. And as I was saying to Susan this morning, I thought to myself, well, I hope that I have enough juice in my battery on my laptop that I can write out my notes and it's not going to die on me. Anyway, the hydro came back on about 30 minutes later. The truth is I could do all of this without notes because I am tapped into that unlimited power, as we all are. We're all tapped into it. If we would but listen to that infinite knower that we are all connected to. But we like to refuse it and say, oh, no, I can do better because I intellectually can move forward and I know exactly what needs to be done because I'm going to base it on all the past things that I've done. Well, that may or may not work for you. The thing is, when we tap into that unlimited power, all unfolds beautifully. Now, that thing that is beyond limits is, we're going to talk about it in terms of energy today. I'm doing a little science lesson today. We're going to talk about it in terms of energy. And one of the things to know about energy is this, which if you go back to your high school physics, you may have been taught this. energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. All energy can do is change form. That's all energy can do, which means there is an unlimited potential, there's unlimited energy in this universe. I think it goes beyond what we perceive as the border of the universe, because I think the universe is infinite. Wrap your mind around that for a second. Think about the universe having no edge. The total amount of energy in the entire universe has always been the same since the incarnation of this physical universe. And it's neither created nor destroyed. It simply changes form. Now, the way that it changes form, I believe, and this is what I believe science of mind teaches, is through our thinking, through the infinite mind. It thinks things into experience, into existence. We perceive this energy and experience it as form, as a substance. Ernest Holmes writes, everything is of the one ultimate substance. All substance is indestructible. All substance is indestructible. So this is the unlimited power that we have. Our capacity to change our minds based in that feeling and belief system is the capacity we have to change our experience of life. This powerful substance, this energy, is all that exists. When we break it down to the subatomic level, going down to that quantum level, all we are is energy. And there I go to my wall again. Same thing. It's energy. There's nothing but energy. We just perceive it into form. And so that's how we experience life. So that's the up part. Now the absolute one, see, me, absolute one up. The absolute one, let me start with this. Again, can we truly comprehend the absolute? What does absolute mean? What does absolute mean? Think about that for just a second. By its very definition, absolute means that there is nothing that is comparable. There is nothing that is comparable. It cannot be compared to anything. It is the only thing, the one thing. It is absolute. There's nothing else. This absolute and indestructible energy is all there is, and we are a part of it. It is the core of our beingness. So, what does this mean? Because here's the deal. I can spout off some of the scientific stuff around all this, and I know how I was when I first came to this philosophy. I would sit out there and go, okay, great, that's all the scientific stuff, but how do I apply this to my life? What does this mean to my life? How do I really put this into action in my life? And that's where me comes into play. M-E, your mental equivalent. Your mental equivalent. Now, the mental equivalent, that's a term that was coined by Emmett Fox, a Unity minister. And what it is this. It's very, because a lot of people get very confused, especially in class. They get very confused, like, what? I don't really quite get the mental equivalent. But I'm going to break it down, make it very easy for you. The mental equivalent is that idea in mind that reflects itself in form. So for everything that exists in this universe, in this world, in our experience of this world, for everything that exists, there is a mental equivalent in our mind, in the universal mind, and it shows up as that thing out there. So everything is created twice. Things are created first in mind and then in form. That's what the mental equivalent means. Now, to understand this, to really get this, and to really start to embody what this means is to live the gift of life. Because when we really get it, then we get to use it. We get to use this mental equivalent. We can choose how we relate to this world. Now, I've said a couple weeks ago, it started coming up that people were asking me in various ways online, am I truly responsible for everything that shows up in my life? Because what they hear, and I know I go to this a lot, but I'm going to keep saying it and keep saying it and keep saying it, because what people hear when I say that we are responsible for everything that shows up in our experience is, this is what, I use the word responsible and they hear this: you are to blame for everything that shows up in your life. Because we equate those two ideas. Responsibility, we equate to blame. You're not to blame for anything. What you are is you are a living, thinking expression of an infinite divine power that has the capacity to respond to whatever shows up. That is your response ability. You have the ability to respond to whatever shows up in life. And the way we respond is born out of this thing called the mental equivalent. When we get our minds in order and our hearts in alignment, the mental equivalent shows up as what it is we would like to experience in this world. This is the gift. We get to choose how we relate to the world. And we get to choose how we show up in the world. Ernest Holmes says, there is no such thing as creation. There is no such thing as creation. We talk a lot about the creative process. We talk a lot about creation. But here's the man himself saying, there is no such thing as creation. All there is the forming in mind of thought image, which is substance itself. The minute we think of something, it exists in some way, somewhere in this universe. It may take a while to find its way to you, but the minute you think it, it exists. That's the way this works. And it's instantaneous, because there is no time in this universal mind. There is no time in the mind of God. When we think it, it exists. When we think it, it exists. And so let us resonate and fall back into this more and more and more. From this thought image, the mental equivalent, the energy of the universe conforms itself to that idea, to reflect that thought itself. The recognition of the mental equivalent also allows us to begin to recognize the habitual thinking that many of us are wrapped up in. And I get it. I've been there. I've been there recently. Yeah. I talked at the Canadian New Thought Conference this year about something that I had not put into my notes. And that was that at the culmination of last year's New Thought Conference here in Toronto, I went into a bit of a depression. And I didn't realize that I was in it. I sunk into it. And what was happening for me at that point is I was finally coming to that place of a year later, grieving the loss of my mother, and then also grieving the loss of this great event that we've been working on for 2 years. And so I just kind of like, the bottom fell out. Everything was like, oh, I have, quote unquote, nothing to focus on to distract me from the things that I'm not dealing with in my own mind. At that point, I had to make the decision. I must deal with it. I must address it. And so I went on a journey of addressing it. That was in June of last year. It was really January of this year that I made that breakthrough, that I said, oh. So sometimes it takes time. You know what? Sometimes mental work takes time. Here's the most important part of that. Keep at it. Persevere. Be tenacious in your spiritual practice. Because that's how we change ourselves. That is how we change our experience of life. A lot of people come and they're like, oh, I'm going to now go to a practitioner. And the practitioner is going to say the spiritual mind treatment for me. They're going to express themselves in affirmative prayer. And everything is going to be great. And you know what? That's great if you are 100% receptive to it, because here's what I will caution you against. If you go to that session and you have a great experience at that session, which you will if you come to any one of our practitioners, that was a joke a little bit, but also not. You will have a great experience coming to a practitioner. The minute you walk away, it is now your responsibility to keep your mind in line with the work that's being done. The minute you go off track, there your life goes. So it does take work. It takes work to change at that heart, that soul level. Now, through this period of what I will label as a depression, I had a feeling, a mental equivalent of less than. Anyone ever have the mental equivalent of feeling less than? Anyone at all in life? No. So I'm the only one here. That was you know what? I'm not good. If I learned something last week when James was here, and that is maybe I'll stop doing the rhetorical questions. Maybe I'll open it up a little bit. And I admit wholly, it is my need to control that I keep saying it's a rhetorical question because I don't want anybody to answer. It's my time, right? No, I'm gonna. It's like you know what? James Mellon taught me well because when he turns and says, "All right, back to me," he means it. But I think also it's important that we all have a flexibility, and so I'm learning to be more flexible and getting out of my need to control. Where was I? Now I've thrown myself off. Okay, here we go. So this mental equivalent of less than that some of us have experienced in our lives, here's what happens. You have? Yes. Here's what happens. It skews our view of everything. It skews our view of everything. And the minute we start to look at that and go, well, that's the truth, we've now created that as our truth, even though the truth is here. The truth is here, not out there. Because everything out there is the result of what's in here, the mental equivalent. And I do say the mental equivalent because the heart, right, Helen? The heart is the first mind in the body. This is where it all begins, right here. Now, I have a friend. It's one of those things. I have a friend constantly trying to convince others. It's really not me. I do have a friend who is constantly trying to convince others that there is something wrong with them. And in doing so, this particular person remains convinced in themselves that something is wrong. And every time we talk, I say, I invite you to take a look at what you are saying, because you're trying to convince me that there's something wrong, but I see you as only one thing. I see you only as love. I see you as the energy of God right here and right now. And at that level, there is absolutely nothing wrong. When we begin to accept this, then whatever we perceive as wrong has to change itself. See, going back to that energy. Energy cannot be destroyed or created. It simply changes. It simply changes. It does not matter what we think is wrong. It doesn't matter what we think is wrong. If we are convinced, that becomes our mental equivalent. If we are convinced, that becomes our mental equivalent, and that is how life shows up. Now, there's a clown that I enjoy. Didn't know I was going to talk about a clown today. I didn't know I was going to talk about a clown today. And this is the person that I'm going to reference would be the first to say, absolutely, he is a clown. And I've referenced this particular person in service before, but I do have to ask the question because I was asked after the last time I referenced this person, who is that person that you were referencing? So let me ask you, do you all know who RuPaul is? RuPaul, right? Anyone not know who RuPaul is? Okay, RuPaul is a very famous drag queen. Very famous drag queen. There was a song that he did in the 80s called Supermodel of the World, and he is still very active. He has his own television show on Out TV and does podcasts and this and that and the other thing. He was he closed Toronto Pride this year, giving a talk at Dundas Square. The thing I love about RuPaul is RuPaul gets it and expresses it. Now, I say that RuPaul is a clown because that's a form of clowning. Drag is a form of clowning. Drag is a way of expressing ourselves in a way that is not necessarily how people would expect us to show up in the world. And it is playing on exaggerating those things that we might fear within ourselves. RuPaul gets it. I used to believe that there was something wrong with me. I'm talking about myself now. I used to believe that there was something wrong with me. And this was reflected back by everyone who came into my experience, and it showed up as expressions of hate. I talked about it on Facebook this week when I posted about National Coming Out Day, which was October 11th, and I talked about the idea that the idea of being a gay man is a constant process of coming out and coming out and coming out. It never ends. Coming out never ends. Now, I can look to a time in my life when I said, I came out, right? That was 25 years ago. But I believed that there was something wrong with me. I was convinced. And so that's how life showed up. I lived in that perception of hate all around me. And you know what got me through it? When I realized, when I realized that love is the only energy that I should focus on. And so my quote from RuPaul today is such a good quote. RuPaul says this, "I've got no time to hate the people who hate me. I'm too busy loving the people who love me." Think about how much focus you might put on the people that hate you, or that you perceive hate you. Let it go. Let it go. Develop that mental equivalent of loving the people who love you. Life gets better. Own your stardom, because you are stars. Superstar. I don't have a thing of chairs to fall into, though. Own your stardom. That's the mental equivalent that I encourage us all to develop today. Keep your mind and heart on love. Love. We put love up all over the place in this center because it is the most important thing. Love is the most important energy there is. It is the only energy it is. That is the energy of creation. Love is the energy of creation. Let this become our mental equivalent. Let us be served by knowing that we are absolute in nature at our individualized expression. And let this be backed by an unlimited power, which we all have at hand. What do you say? You on board? Yes. All right, namaste. Woo! I am so grateful. I'm so grateful to this community. That's right. I'm going to invite you to take out whatever it is you're offering the center today. Hold it in your hand. Allow yourself to participate actively in abundant circulation. If you're joining us online today, I want to say welcome. Thank you for joining us online. You can participate in this act of circulation by donating, by hitting that donate button on the website. As we hold our financial contribution, our investment, or tithe, let us deepen in our understanding of what it is to give by reading together the Divine Givingness Affirmation. It is on the bottom of your song sheet. Read this together. You can keep doing that. Have at it. Yeah. Might as well have a beat under this, right? Let's read this together. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that Spirit is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so, thank Spirit for all that is. Sing along. We'll mix it up. You ready? Here we go. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Sing that.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day.
This healing, this healing, this healing 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 day.
All right. So now I want to know what you are grateful for. You know what? I know what I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for Nadine. So let us say, thank you for Nadine, Spirit. Here we go. Thank you for Nadine, Spirit. Thank you for Nadine.
Thank you for Nadine.
Own it. Own it. You're a star.
Thank you for Nadine.
Thank you for Nadine, Spirit. Thank you for Nadine.
Thank you for Nadine, Spirit. Thank you for Nadine.
She's inspiring, inspiring, inspiring Nadine.
Inspiring, inspiring, inspiring Nadine.
She's inspiring, inspiring, inspiring Nadine.
She's inspiring, inspiring, inspiring Nadine.
Yes, she is. I'm going to invite Helen and Judy to come on up here as we bless what it is that has been offered the center today, allowing ourselves to go to that place of openness and receptivity to the deepest understanding of the I am that I am for each and every one of us. I trust and know that all that has been given today has been given out of love. With the perfection of circulation at hand, we open ourselves up to the deeper circulation, knowing that there is no place where it is stopped. It is infinite and it is always flowing. And I know that this goodness that has been expressed here in money moves through this time and this place, through this center to do great works in this world. It allows us to step into the expression of spirit more fully in this world of form. And so I'm grateful for the great wisdom of the Board of Trustees in their choices to how to utilize this abundance. And I'm so grateful for every single person who has stepped up today to offer themselves in abundance. Everyone who has donated online, every single person in the room, I am so grateful for everyone who participates in our Count Me In program, our Step Up program, that pre-authorized giving program. And so I simply allow it to unfold in perfect flow and deep gratitude. I let it be so, as together we say, and so it is. What are we grateful for, Helen? We're grateful for peace. Thank you for this peace, Spirit. Thank you for this peace.
Thank you for this peace, Spirit. Thank you for this peace.
Thank you for this peace, Spirit. Thank you for this peace.
Thank you for this peace, Spirit. Thank you for this peace.
This infinite, this infinite, this infinite 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 peace.
I said thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Helen, you're here. Reverend Helen Mello, everyone.
And I left all the announcements. Thank you so much. All right, I just want to say something before I started on the announcements, and that is I was videoing live onto Facebook. It was so much fun. There were people I knew from Mistissini, Quebec, way in northern Quebec. Looking in, there was my nephew from Stony Plain, Alberta, people from other parts of Alberta, friends of mine. It was really cool. We reached 103 people.
Awesome.
Yeah, and lots of great comments and hearts going by. So really fun thing to do. If you want to get out your cameras and video anything during service and put it on Facebook, have at it.
Have at it.
Okay, so announcements. Aha! You will see in your announcement sheet, our silent auction starts today. There is a link to go to a website, start your bidding. You can look at all the items are on the tree out in the bookstore. The bidding will go on for 2 weeks till the end of the month. So please get on there and start your bids. We also have any of you seen Sonia Burns' meditations on Facebook? Yes.
Beautiful.
They are spectacular. And if you go to our Center for Spiritual Living Toronto Facebook page, she is posting a meditation of gratitude every day until November 24th. It's absolutely free. It's 2 minutes, gets you centered and grounded, and she's doing a brilliant job. Thank you for that, Sonia. We have the Engaged Spirituality Conference that's happening October 24th to the 27th in San Diego, if any of you'd like to take a trip down south. You have all the information in your flyer. We have this afternoon, if you haven't signed up, please do sign up for Reverend Nadine's workshop. That is available. It's going to be held upstairs. And meditation is every Wednesday, so come on. And meditation is growing and growing on Wednesdays at 6 p.m. You're welcome to join in. We have a Board of Trustees meeting next Sunday. You are welcome to come and observe that meeting. It starts at 1 p.m. upstairs. And then on October 30th, I am doing a heart math workshop at the center here from 1:30 to 3:30. I think that's it.
All right.
All right. You good?
I am good.
I'm good.
Are you good?
I'm good.
Awesome. Thank you, Helen. All right. Let's go ahead and take a breath. Allowing ourselves to relax into this place of coherence, that place of love. The understanding that all is well in this moment because we have decided it is so, and that is our mental equivalent. And in this, we allow love to lead the way.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. But once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. But once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now.
When one makes a decision, the universe conspires to make it happen. Love is my decision. I understand this and I know this because it is rooted in the deepest understanding that there is only one power, one presence, one infinite creative resource, which is love. I allow myself to resonate in love more and more and more, for there's infinite room for deepening in love. It is who and what we are, each and every one of us, that perfect individualized expression of a loving, divine, creative source, living its life as our own right here and right now. There is only love. Breathing into this understanding and breathing into this knowing, I simply say yes to life, yes to that perfect mental equivalent that is at the heart of each and every one of our experience. For everything that shows up, I understand, is the result of my belief, my feeling, my mind. And this is the truth for each and every one of us. And so I know that today provides an opportunity to express this and experience this more deeply than ever before. And for this, I am so grateful. Grateful for the understanding that there is only one absolute power, only one. It is unlimited potential, unlimited power, and it is at hand in the here and now. I am grateful for this message, for this teaching, for the words as they have expressed themselves in perfection. perfectly right here, right now, today. I'm grateful for everyone who has stepped up in service. Grateful for Judy and Helena, who helped with our collection today. Grateful for Sandra, our greeter today. So deeply grateful for Margaret Ann in the store. Lori and Carol for setting up. Mira for cleaning up following service today. Grateful for Carrie and Nick on our sound. Jim on our webcast. So grateful to Tanis, Burnett, the entire Queen Street Band for all they bring every single week. So grateful. I am indeed grateful for the brilliance of that beautiful meditation expressed by Nick this morning. And I am eternally grateful for the consciousness, the inspiration, and the intuition of Reverend Nadine. So grateful that she has joined us here today. I live in gratitude for all this and for so much more. I'm grateful for every single person who has showed themselves today. Whether in the room or online, I am grateful for your participation. Grateful at the deepest level of my heart. So I simply allow the perfect unfoldment of spirit right here, right now. I let it be so, releasing this word to law. I know it perfectly, as together we say, and so it is.
It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. But once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. My decision right here and now. Love is my decision right here and now.
All right, let's kick it out into the street with Teach Your Children.
Must have a code that you can live by, and so become yourself, because the past is just a goodbye. Teach your children well, their father's hell will slowly go by. On your dreams, the one they picked, the one you know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you will cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you. And when you are the tender years, can know the fears that your elders grew by. And so please help them with your youth. They seek the truth before they can die. Teach your parents well, their children's hell will slowly go by, and feed them on your dreams, the one they picked, the one you'll know by. Don't you ever ask them why. If they told you, you would cry. So just look at them and sigh, and know they love you.
Have a great week, everyone.